If you want to be productive and actually have a chance at achieving your goals this year, you need to have some habits in place to help you do that. Today, I'm going to take you through my top 6 habits that I have that I really feel help me achieve my goals, and I think they'll work for you too. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kim. I help therapists in private practice get online, get confident with admin, and reduce tech overwhelm. And I also really want to tell you about my brand new membership called Goal Getters. It's specifically for therapists in private practice, and it is a membership to help you achieve your goals. I am all about helping therapists achieve their goals in many different ways, and the membership is just the new way that I am helping them. If you'd like to know more about it, I'm going to leave a link in the description, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it as we go through this video. So the first habit I want to talk to you about is time blocking. If you have been here for any length of time, if you've watched any of my videos, if you've received any of my emails, you'll know how much I love time blocking and how much it has benefited my life. I've been time blocking for a really long time, probably since 2020. And basically the concept of time blocking is mapping out your whole day. So everything you have to do goes into a time block. So for you, that might be seeing clients, it might be answering emails, it might be doing your admin, doing your invoicing, supervision, whatever it is that you need to get done during the day, it is in a time block. And your whole work schedule is time blocked from start to finish, even lunches, walks, whatever it is that you've got to do. You literally just plan out your whole day in chunks of time. I've got a couple of videos on my channel that show you how to do time blocking, so I'll link them in the description below. But here is an overview of how to get started with time blocking. So the first thing you want to plan in are your must-dos, your non-negotiables. So for me, they are things to do with childcare. So I have to do a morning routine with my kids, which basically just involves me repeating, eat your food, get dressed, eat your food, get dressed, over and over again. It's fun. But then I have to do the school run, then I come home, and then I might have other stuff that I need to get done, like putting the washing on. Sometimes I have to do shopping. So all the things that are kind of must-dos in your life, plan those in first, because you can't do anything during those times because you have these non-negotiable things. And obviously this is going to be very personal to you. So you might have classes that you've committed to, such as gym classes, training classes, things like that. So they are the first things you want to put down. The next is your core work. So what is it that you are getting paid for? So for you, that's probably going to be seeing clients. So you want to schedule in the time blocks where you are seeing clients. Now, what I would suggest to do as a little tip is, if your practice is not full yet, I would schedule in the times that you would like to see clients. So let's say you want to see 10 clients a week and currently you see 6. I would schedule in the other 4 blocks of time, and instead of putting them as client sessions currently, I would put those in as networking, marketing, something to do with getting clients. So that might be updating your Psychology Today profile, updating your website. There's lots of things that you can do in those time blocks. But if you want to be getting paid during those 4 blocks of time, I want you to block those out and actually use that time to find new clients. The next block of time are buffer blocks. So this is going to be the things that don't move the needle but need to be done. So mostly this is going to be inbox management. And I want you to schedule in 2 blocks of time throughout the day so that you know that you have time to look at your inbox. So this might be first thing in the morning before you start seeing clients, and maybe when you get back from lunch, and you're not then getting drawn in to dealing with emails, returning phone calls and things like that outside of that 30 minutes. So if you have goals that you want to achieve, you are going to need to create time for that. If all your time is taken up with seeing clients and inbox management and other little bits and pieces, you're never going to get it done. It's just not possible. If you can't plan it out on paper, it's not going to get done in real life. So what you want to do is make sure that you are blocking in time for actions, which we're going to talk about in the next step, but you want to block time for things that don't move the needle, that aren't moving you towards your goals. You want to schedule that time in so you're not context switching and moving from one thing to another, changing tabs all the time, which is going to slow you down and not make you productive. So after buffer blocks, the next block of time is your strategic block. So this is the moving the needle. And I would suggest that you have 1 to 3 hours blocked off each week for you to actually do the tasks that are going to get you towards your goal. Like I said a second ago, if you can't plan it on paper, it's not going to get done in real life. So you want to plan in either one big block or a couple of smaller blocks spread out if you don't have time for that one, 3-hour block. And you want to make sure that during that time, you are doing things that are going to get you towards your goal. And finally, we have a creative or a breakout block. And this is a block of time, and that can just be 1 hour or 30 minutes a week where you're doing something for you that is nothing to do with your work, nothing to do with your kids, nothing to do with your parents, nothing to do with your husband, whoever it is in your life. It's just for you. So for me, I will schedule in things like getting my nails done, getting my hair done, going to a coffee shop with a friend, like something that's going to fill me up, but where I'm not proactively thinking about work. I'm doing something for me. It's not for anyone else. So that's how you can get started with time blocking. The second habit that I have put in place is basically all of the suggestions from the 12-week year. And again, I've talked about this book over and over and over again. And if you are wanting to achieve goals this year, I would so highly recommend you getting this book. It really has changed my life in the way of how I think about my goals, how I put action steps in to complete my goals, and how I've been able to achieve so much, especially last year. So just to go over some of the principles in the 12-week year really quickly, I do have a full video about the 12-week year, and the new membership that I've just launched is really based around the principles of the 12-week year and helping you to achieve your goals. So here's a quick breakdown. The first thing is you need to tie your goals to a vision. Last week we talked about if you had a goal of getting 4 new clients, but actually your vision for your life was to slow down and not do so much work, you're going to have this constant push-pull, and it's going to not make you achieve your goal because you're saying you want more clients, but your actual vision for your life is not matching that. So it's never going to happen. You're not going to get those clients because you actually don't really want them. Maybe you need them, maybe you need more revenue, but actually you feel like you're working too hard and you're getting burnt out. So you're never going to get those clients and achieve your goal if your vision doesn't match. The next thing in that is setting your goals in a smaller time frame. So you don't want to have a goal by the end of the year, because what's going to happen is you're going to procrastinate on that goal, and there's going to be no urgency for you to complete that goal. So the book obviously suggests setting the goals for 12 weeks. And I love that because I love planning on a quarter by quarter basis, because I think that life changes every quarter. For me, that has to do with school holidays and what my clients are doing and what I'm planning. So setting goals on a quarter by quarter basis really works well for me. The next part is only setting 1 to 3 goals a quarter. If you have too many goals, you're not going to be able to achieve them because your focus is being split too much. You want to have 1 to 3 goals and be really clear on the action steps that you're going to take to achieve those goals. Like I just talked about in the first habit, time blocking is a big part of the 12-week year, and making sure that you have blocked time out to take the action steps to achieve your goals. And finally, it is having accountability. Having accountability for your goals can increase the likelihood that you're going to complete them by 7 times. You are 7 times more likely to achieve your goal if you write it down, create an action plan for it, schedule time in to complete it, and have an accountability partner. If you don't currently have somebody that you can work with at the moment, you could find a friend or put a post in Facebook and see if anybody's willing to do that for you. Or you could come and join the Goal Getters membership, where a huge focus is on accountability, and we will match you with somebody and you can then report to each other on a weekly basis of how things are going, get feedback and advice, and give feedback and advice, and just have that somebody holding you accountable and rooting for you as well. My third habit to help you achieve your goals is by using a Google Calendar. And this can be insert any online calendar. I'm sure they all work pretty similar, but I love Google Workspace and I love my Google Calendar. So once you've done your time blocking, you want to transfer the information onto a Google Calendar, because each week you might have a block of time for your admin or a block of time for an action step towards your goal. But that's not specific, and you don't want a piece of paper printed out every single week with what you've got to do. What you want to do is block that time out on a recurring basis on an online calendar, and then you want to insert the exact tasks that you are going to do. And with Google Calendar, you can get notifications and reminders and things like that, which a spreadsheet is not going to give you. I love creating my time blocking on a spreadsheet, but then I want to transfer it to a Google Calendar where it's going to be so much more interactive and more useful. And again, I've got a video all about Google Calendar and also some hidden secrets about how you can be productive using Google Calendar. So I'll link that below too. My fourth habit is having a Sunday night ritual. There are a few things I do on a Sunday evening so that I can start my week right. So the first thing I'm going to do is check that Google Calendar and see what I've got coming up. I want to see when I am filming so that I can wash my hair the night before. I want to see what meetings I have, if I have any admin audits, which are basically people booking time to speak to me, but I don't know what they're going to talk to me about. They talk to me about all different things. So I want to make sure that I'm looking over the form that they fill out so I can do any research I need to do and just things like that. So anything that's coming up that I need to know about in advance. So I want to know when I'm filming, when I have meetings, when is an admin heavy day, all those kind of things. That's really going to help me know what's going on. I'll also pick and sort the clothes that I need for the following day. So I do that for me and my kids. Obviously they wear a school uniform, so I just make sure they've got the right one, whether that's a normal day or a PE day. Just makes the mornings run so much smoother. It also helps me as well because I pick out my clothes the night before and then I'm not standing at my wardrobe when I'm tired and cold thinking about what it is I'm going to wear. So that can be really helpful. What you want to do is you don't want to have to make too many decisions in the morning when you're tired. You want to make them beforehand so you just get up and kind of roll into. So let's say I was going to do a workout every morning, I would leave my workout clothes out. So it wouldn't even be a question. It'd just be like, these are the clothes I've laid out, this is what I'm going to put on, and then I would do some yoga or whatever it is, or go for a walk. So you want to do that and take away the decision in the morning. I'll then write my to-do list for the next day. So I will write out everything that I need to get done in a day. Now that might be one thing, it might be one big thing I'm working on. It might be lots and lots of little things. If I have a lot of admin tasks to complete that day, there might be quite a few little things. And what I'm going to do is write them in a particular order, basically from the biggest thing to the smallest thing, because I'm going to have much more energy in the morning. And you might not be like that. You might want to get into it really slowly and do some easy tasks and get loads of ticks onto your to-do list, which is going to motivate you to do that big thing. With me, I have most of my energy in the morning, so I'm going to do those big tasks first and then work towards the little ones after lunch. And then finally, I'm actually going to check all of the inboxes that I manage on a Sunday night. That's going to help me add things to my to-do list if there's anything that I need to do urgently. It's also going to mean that I can start my day every day with the thing that I want to do. I don't have to, first of all, check inboxes and feel distracted. I've already checked the inboxes. I've written down anything that's urgent that I need to get done, but then I can just move on. And I actually don't check my inboxes again until the afternoon. So I'll actually check them when I get back from lunch and just see if anything else urgent has come up. But that's the process that I do. You might want to do it first thing in the morning because you want to check if your clients have cancelled or something like that. It's really what works for you. All of the tips that I give, you want to adapt them for what works best for you rather than just going by what I'm saying, but actually the habits are really good to implement. Okay, we're on to our last two habits now. And the fifth habit is something that I have talked about briefly, and that is accountability. I genuinely believe the reason I have got so much done is by having accountability. before I had my PA, I would make up these goals that I wanted for my business, but I had no one holding me accountable. I had no one saying, how are you doing with that, and things like that. If I worked in a company and I was working on a project, you know, I'd have a boss and they would be checking in with me. They'd be like, how's that project going? You know, can you give me an update? When do you think it's going to be completed by? And things like that. And when you work for yourself, you don't have that. You can just be like, oh, I think my goal this year is going to be X. But no one's holding you accountable to that. It's really just your internal motivation. And that can definitely wean over time. You can be really excited about something at first, and then it can just drop off. And having that accountability partner can really help you stay on track. You know, you kind of have to report to them whether you did something or not, and actually saying to somebody, even if they're not in your business, even if it's, you know, just a friend or a colleague, just saying to someone, you know what, I didn't do this. It doesn't have a nice feeling, and I want somebody to keep me on track. I want somebody to be checking in on me. I also use my PA to kind of delegate things to me. So I might have all of my tasks listed out, and then she'll say, okay, I need these 3 things from you, because then I can do X or Y, whatever. So having somebody who can hold you accountable can really help you achieve your goals. I genuinely believe that. And the final habit is outsourcing. So like I just said, I have my PA who is my accountability partner. Not even sure she knows she's my accountability partner, but I definitely use her as an accountability partner. We have regular meetings where I update her on where I am with the goals and where she is with, you know, if she has anything to do to be part of that goal. And if you don't have time to dedicate, like I said, if you don't have time on paper to plan in that strategic block, then how are you going to have time to complete your goals? So is there something in your business or your life that you can outsource so that you can actually do the big thing? Do you need to be doing all of your appointment scheduling, your invoicing, your medical insurance, your bookkeeping? Do you need to be doing all that yourself, or can somebody else do that for you? Do you need to clean your house each week, or can somebody else do that for you? Do you need to go to the shops and do all your shopping all week, or is there a different way that you can do that to save you time? So anything in your life that doesn't need to be done by you, have a look if you can find someone to outsource that to. What I don't think people take into account is that the time you're spending on things that don't need to be done is your hourly rate. So if you charge, let's say you charge £50 for a session, and if you spend 1 hour a day doing admin that you don't need to do, it's going to be costing you £50 a day. You are going to be taking up time when you could be seeing a client for £50, or when you could be taking action on your goals. Whereas you could outsource that to a VA who would charge much less than £50 an hour, and you could then either see an extra client or you could get on with this task. And they'll also probably be quicker than you too. So if it takes you an hour to do something, it might take them 45 minutes or half an hour, because that is their job. They are good at admin and they enjoy it and they know what they're doing. So they're going to be quicker than you eventually. So they are the 6 habits that I have that really help me achieve my goals and that I think will really help you. If you are interested in learning more about the Goal Getters membership, I'm going to leave a link in the description below. We've got so much fun stuff coming up in the next few weeks, helping you with all of this stuff, with time blocking, with inbox management, with your bookkeeping, helping you to decide on your goals, making sure they are SMART goals, creating the action plan for you to complete those goals, and giving you an accountability partner so that you are 7 times more likely to achieve your goals. If you are interested in learning more about that, I'm going to leave a link in the description below, and I would love to see you inside the membership. But for now, thanks so much for watching.